There it goes.
Are we turned on now?
Yeah, we're turned on.
Okay.
That's what she said. That'd be so weird. Like you're having sex. Am I turned on? Is this what it feels like?
Kind of like, what's normal? What's turned on? Let me show you. All right, so what are we doing?
Okay, so
first of all, look how cute I am.
I know, it's so cute. It's adorable. On my end, the shine is backwards.
Is it backwards? That's so funny because on mine, okay, I'm so glad you told me because it flips around.
Oh.
But on mine, it's backwards. So I was like, fuck, I gotta like change everything and make it weird. Okay, there we go.
Well, now the fucking camera's all fucked up. Hold on. The recording's all fucking up on us. Okay. It's like this.
What happened?
It's like the second I started recording, it started to spaz out. Hold on, let me try and close tabs I'm in. Okay. All right, well,
Hang on, I need a drink of water.
Oh, the Stardust cup.
That's delicious.
I have my Hello Kitty cup. Anyway, so we'll get on to the topic because I'm sure people get annoyed when we're just talking. But I'm going to trans channel the teacher. For those that don't know and that are not in the Stardust Facebook group, the teacher wants to be called Gwyneth now. That's her human name. Gwynny for short, I guess.
I got to interject.
Yes.
For just a sec because Layla asked me what I'm doing tonight, and I told her that I'm going to talk to an alien named Gwenny, and she goes, "Gwenny pig." It's so cute.
Gwenny pig. That's even cuter. She's in love with that now.
She's got a pet name. She's Gwenny pig.
So yes, it is. It's cutesy. Okay,
it's very cute.
Anyway, so we're going to be discussing. What is it exactly? Okay, all right. She said, I'll tell it when I go in. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but she wants everyone to know that she got dressed up for the occasion. And she loves to dress up. So right now, how the Sarsahr do this, because they're physical creatures that you can touch, like us. They're not in a whole other dimension or whatever. They're physical beings.
They're flesh. They're fleshies.
So how I'm able to trans channel, and I had a hard time believing this myself because my doubt seeped in, was they are really good at meditating and astral projecting themselves and remote viewing and things like that. And what they do is they meditate and they astral project themselves to me and enter my body through there. So it's once you are an astral, you're pretty much like a spirit, and you can do the same things a spirit can do. So it's really no different.
So you get the best of both worlds then, because you got your, it feels like spirit to me. But I know, they're physical beings also. Mm-hmm. They're not spirit.
Exactly. And so she got dressed up, so I'm assuming she's in her room wearing her cute little outfit. And it's like a little dress. It's a skirt, sorry, my bad. It's a skirt. And it's white, and it flares out.
Okay.
She says it's above the knees, so it's a bit showy for her, but she thinks it's cute. It looks like a schoolgirl kind of skirt, with the little pleated pattern.
Okay.
It's so cute. Okay.
Aww.
Oh, and she said she did her hair. She's going like this. She did her hair too. And wearing jewelry. She's wearing
got some bling on too.
Yes. And makeup. She's got makeup
on.
Oh
my.
She's so excited about this. Okay. We're going to get started. I have to pee though, but I'll ignore it. We'll be fine.
No, you can't ignore it. She's the one that's going to be in the body, and it's uncomfortable.
Fuck. Well, you know what? We're not even professional. I'll just
go pee real quick. I'll just talk.
Okay.
All right. Clearly, this wasn't planned. So let me just go ahead and brag without you guys even seeing it. But look how cutie this is. And I'm going to change the cities to, Houston and Brussels and probably Sydney. And then everything's all decked out here because I'm having the shiny event here in a couple weeks, and then Stardust is going to be here in a couple months. So buy your tickets. But I was looking around the room. I actually did a little video and I deleted it. Maybe I'll do another one. But everything I have on my walls in here was made by, well, not everything, but many things were made by people. I have Allison's channeled painting from Bob Ross, that's his name. It's Your World, all the pretty little trees. I have Sarette's drawing of Avery over here. And I have Squilliam Adley's alcohol rainbow painting over there. I have art from Sarah Kujawa. I have a Pooh Bear from Kari and Carl. I got like everybody. This is like my gift room. My flute from Ron. I'm bragging about all the stuff that I got in this room that has been gifted to me and or made for me by people and sent my way. It's such a cool room. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to show it to you. Okay, so I yammered bragged.
All right.
We're good.
All right, I'm leaving now.
All right, see you later. Hi, Gwenny. How you doing?
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
You are so cute. Why are you so excited? Tell me what the big thrill is for you.
I am doing this video for Stardust, and it's a big deal because it's also something very important to Sam. And even though Sam is a dear friend of mine, he's also the leader of our people. And just to help him and please him in this way is a big deal for me. But also, I love connecting with humans and discussing topics with them. I just love humans. They're so amazing. You really are. You have no idea how amazing you guys are.
You really do seem to love the humans. I love that.
I'm so excited. And I get to be in a body and know what it feels like.
A human body. Because you got your own.
Yes. I mean, it's heavy, the human body, and not flexible, but it's harder to push things. I'm not as free. How do I explain it?
You mean you're not as free in your body, you mean?
No, in the human body.
Oh, okay.
And it could be because it's not my body.
Maybe. Okay, well, I want to know what you want to tell us what you're here to talk about.
Okay. Human civilizations in the past. And yes.
And I already kind of knew this, but I'm so interested in, hearing it through, I don't mean this in a negative way. I truly mean this in a positive way, in a Sarsahr filter, with your take on it. So,
and we won't know everything about your history because even now we don't know everything. There's some gaps because we didn't study your history because we're not human. Why would we study your history? Right. But I have, and it's interesting to see our perspective from yours because we're outsiders looking in.
Yeah.
And I want to discuss first the ancient civilization of the Egyptians.
Okay.
My people, we had contact with them since the very beginning, and they advanced rather quickly because of us, along with other extraterrestrial beings. So the theory that humans have that they had contact with beings from other planets is true. They had access to our technology, and we helped trade with them. We didn't give them everything. They didn't come to us and ask us for help, and then we said, oh, sure, here's a spaceship, have at it. We taught them at a small pace that they could keep up with basic understandings they've already had. And because what we've learned from not just our species having contact with other natives who are not as advanced, but from other extraterrestrials who've made contact, it can be very dangerous to make contact with beings and exchange technology with them that they're not ready for, not in maturity wise. And you see that with humans today. A lot of the technology you have, you're not mature enough to handle it. And what's going to end up happening if you don't meet up maturity wise, your society will break down. And essentially your species itself. And that sounds so scary, but it can turn around at any moment. You can turn it around, and it slowly is. It really is. So I wouldn't be too worried about it, but that can happen, and it has happened to other species, but I don't think it will happen with humans. The reason why humans are advancing way too quickly is because they're making contact with extraterrestrials that are not part of our alliance and aren't in tune with what we're doing to help humanity. So they're interfering and trading technology when the humans aren't ready for that kind of access yet. Okay. So let's say the Grace.
Right.
Yeah. And
what are they trading for? What do they get? Do you know? I don't want to, I don't want to cause trouble, but do you know?
Humans. They get access to humans.
Nice. Yikes. Okay.
That's the trade. They milk you like cows.
Wow.
Not really, but you know how you treat your cows?
Right.
In the factories? Yes. That's how they think of you.
Will you tell me what they do with us? I know this isn't where you were planning on going, but what do they want with humans? Or just experimenting?
Just experimenting, DNA. It's really nothing personal. It's just business.
So we're lab rats. We're lab rats.
Yes, you're lab rats.
Okay.
It's not that they are actively seeking you and only you. They're doing this with anyone they can get to. So it's nothing personal, but it is wrong, I think. I know. Anyway, back to Egyptians, much happier topic. Our religion at the time, for our species, we did still believe in gods when we were traveling through space. We used to believe in several amount of gods, not just one. We used to have different kinds. A bit of our beliefs rubbed off on the Egyptians, and they adopted that same practice of having multiple gods for different reasons. You know, this one's for nature, this one's for fertility, and this is the god of war. And that was good too. I could see that they took it a bit extreme. And for us, as a Sarsahr, that was our first time experiencing a species that takes everything to the extreme. Humans tend to do that. For us, we never sacrificed people to gods. We never built huge, giant temples for them. We never came up with laws that people had to live by because of these gods. And we never had death penalties because you don't obey the gods. And humans, they really took it to a whole other level that I never thought could exist.
I know, isn't that weird? I mean, you read fiction books or you see movies, but that shit was real. It's like I look at that stuff now, it's like, oh my God, they're going to sacrifice that baby to the gods. You don't need to do that.
Or an animal.
I know.
Or they say you can't step to the right on Thursdays because it displeases the gods. And who does that? We've never done that. We believed in multiple gods, but we never had those silly rules. And that's
a strange thing.
A very human thing to have. And for us as Sarsahr, we learned that humans are very extreme species. They're very black and white. It's either this way or it's that way, and it takes them a while to find a good middle ground. And that's when we began to learn that different species each have their own setup with the way they learn. Each species, how do I explain it? How do I talk about this? I'm thinking.
I'll make some think music for you. Get the Jeopardy theme.
I'm asking for help. I'm doing so bad.
No, you're not. We love you. You got this. It's tricky. I can imagine it's tricky.
Okay.
Take a moment. It's okay.
There are certain things you can learn only as a human because
Okay.
of the way you learn it, because of the way the human brain is set up and the thought process goes through in a human brain. Then you were supposed to learn as a rat. You can't learn the same things as a rat that you can as a human.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in that way, that's when we learned that depending on what species you are, you learn and you take in the information differently than any other species. So
Interesting.
yes. So with
You did very good with that explanation.
you, I tried. Okay. Let's see. What else did we
So
do?
did you at first kind of take for granted because you didn't know yet that humans might process information the same way you did? Was that kind
Exactly.
of
That was from what I was told because I had to do a bit of studying for this topic as well because I wasn't alive during the Egyptians. But
right?
in our history, it was eye-opening because we just assumed everyone processed information in the same way we did and
Hmm.
experiences, but we don't. And it's almost like when you come across a whole new culture and there's a
Uh-huh.
bit of that culture shock,
Yeah.
it's exactly the same thing.
Okay. Even, humans don't even learn the same way from one human to another. My kids I call them unconventional learners. Are you guys like that too? A little bit?
What does unconventional learners mean?
Well, I guess I'm saying because my kids just really don't belong in that box of a classroom. Everybody's
I
learning the
see.
same way because some kids
Also,
learn, yeah.
that's kind of the same, but it's also different than what I'm talking about. Um,
I understand that too. I know it's a little bit different that humans are just completely incapable of learning it the way you
right.
thought they might be able to. We just can't. We
The way
process
they
it differently.
the way you process it is
Hmm.
entirely different. The way you learn in a classroom may differ from human to human, but overall, you process the experience is the same.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. And that also brings up a good topic. For our people, in the beginning, we used to have a lot of mental illnesses, much like humans
Uh-huh.
did, still do. And the cause for most of our mental illnesses were due to our own belief system that we still hung on to. And it took our species quite a bit of time to let go of our old beliefs so that everyone else as a community could be happy because we put that label on them that they were mentally ill when most of them were not. Um, and also because of the immense stress of our society, the way it was built during that time, made for mental illness to be created. And it's really not an illness, not mentally, it's more of a side effect of the way our society was built during that time.
Okay.
Um, and
Will
we,
you share about that a little bit? How your society was?
um, let's
Or is
see.
that too tricky? Sorry.
Well, it depends on how far back we're going. Um,
Okay.
well, let me
Well,
just
what were the what?
I'm
Keep going, girl.
I'm going to compare at a certain point where we're very similar to where humans are at now. This was
Okay.
very early on in our evolvement. Where humans are at now, we were there a long time ago. And we had the same issues with gender identification. Um, Not that it's an issue, but we had people who identified as a woman, was a man. Um, we also had issues with more people were becoming depressed. More people were killing themselves, but we were never violent with each other. That's a
Mhm.
difference. We don't bully each other the way humans do. We can be bullies towards one another, but it's not quite as ferocious as it is with
Okay.
humans. Ours is more of a silent treatment kind of bullying rather
Okay.
than verbal. And a lot of the issues that we have that humans have now, especially with the way things are dramatically changing, and I'm glad you brought up that your children learn differently. That's a side effect as well. that your society's changing and humans are. It's not just your children that feel like that. There's going to be more and more humans that will be born that learn the same way that your children do, because your species is evolving. But they're not evolving physically. You're evolving mentally and emotionally, spiritually as well.
Right.
It's a consciousness evolvement. And that's what happened with us when we're evolving consciously. Your bodies at this point, this is pretty much how you're going to look. And
Okay.
I mean, that's just our theory. We don't know everything, but we've looked relatively the same since then. And that was thousands of years ago that we're in the same position you are now. And we still look the same. Some organs have left us, but outwardly, the way we appear is the same.
Okay.
But I can't say for humans. I don't know. Maybe environmental reasons may change that drastically. You know, maybe your sun suddenly explodes. I don't know.
Wow.
You'll die if that happens. But
way different.
You'll be really dead.
Really, really dead.
That's how you'll look different. Anyway, so what it is with the gender, and that's a really interesting topic, is that you're really learning about the fluidity of gender and how you are not defined by your gender. And these people who are saying they identify as one and not another, they're really teaching everybody about how your gender does not define who you are. And you have to be how humans learn is you have to be really on the opposite side to understand outside the box. Right. So people right now are just all about their gender, saying, I'm a proud woman, I'm a proud feminist. Not that that's wrong.
Right.
But you're really all about your gender, and you're having a lot of gender wars. I heard that term being used, gender wars happening. And that happens because you're learning how to let go of it. It's part of letting go of the need to define yourself by your gender.
That kind of makes sense, because it's kind of like when women, are so, I'm a girl and I can do it. I'm a girl, and I'm just as valid as the boy. That's to point it out, and then even the playing field.
Yes. Yes. Our women never had to do that, but I find it really interesting to study human behavior and the way you will learn and how you're evolving as a species. I found this topic entirely interesting because you evolve, even though we evolved in much the same way. How you're choosing to evolve is different than how we did it, but you're still evolving the same way. Does that make sense?
A little bit. Say that part again. Say
that we're both getting to point B, right? We're both getting there, but how humans are choosing to get there is different. Okay.
I got it now. I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm a little slow.
No, I may not be good, because some of what's interesting about about our different languages is the analogies I would use in my language would not make sense to you. And so I have to understand human analogy and your symbolism and your idioms that you use.
Yeah. And you have to probably pick through H's filing cabinets too, huh?
I sometimes try to do that, but she locks me out. She won't let me in. I tried to nitpick at her brain, and it won't happen.
Oh, girl.
She completely shuts down.
That's interesting in there. Let's try to pick the lock one day.
It might give me a headache.
Okay, so I want to hear more about the other societies. We didn't even really we talked about the Egyptians a little bit, and we're totally derailing.
So I want to discuss how the pyramids were made.
Ooh, girl, do it right now. Go.
They got help from us. They were built by humans, but the technology that they used in order to create them was from not just us, but other extraterrestrials as well. The way they were able to move it was Let me try to. For us, this is very old, ancient technology, and we don't even use it anymore.
It's funny.
They did start from the top and went down. And how they did that was there was a, how do I explain it? It's kind of like energy propelled it up. And
Okay.
I'm thinking of this movie I saw where people use their minds to move things. It's almost like that, but there's a machine that is used to propel it up. And it seems very, what's that word? Well, it's the sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah, very sci-fi. Is
But
it like a vibration it creates, or
yes,
something?
it propels it. It's an invisible force that it's propelled through. Like a. You know how a fan, and if you turn it on strong enough, it'll push somebody, like a strong wind.
Yeah.
It's just like that, like a strong wind. That's the best way I can explain it because it's.
Is it? You know what? Is it making me feel like? As I have these two magnetic balls.
Yes.
And if you hold them a certain way, they just repel each other. You can just feel that they don't want to touch.
Right. It's just like that. You just pull them, and it seems like it's just pure energy that's pushing it. And it is. Everything's energy, but there's something in the machine that's creating the energy that's pushing the object up, and it can keep it in one place.
Wow. So the pyramid started at the top?
Yes.
It's like a floating stone?
It started at the top and went down. Well, actually, they had a type of beam. It's a clay beam that they had it held on top of, but they eventually knocked that beam down when it was, was able to hold up on its own with all these other.
Right.
Anyway, but at the bottom of your pyramids is still that technology they used, that magnetic propulsion system that was used. That's what I would call it, a magnetic propulsion system would be the best way to call it. Exactly.
So do you mean like that, no, all those magnetic propulsors are still under the pyramids right now, and if we knew how to activate them, we could do it?
Yes, and how they look is they made their own version of it. We showed them the technology, but they created their own version of what we already had.
Okay.
So theirs is, since it's such an old technology and has been used, it may just look like rusted pieces or even clay.
Okay.
Of just broken down because it hasn't been used in a while, a long time.
A long time.
But that's still at the bottom.
What were the pyramids for?
They're just tombs, from what I understood from the Egyptians, from what my people told me, why they were building them. They were just fancy tombs and a place of worship to go and because they really thought of their leaders as gods, from what I understand. So when they would die, that was a place to go to worship them and give them thanks, and much like a church would be, but there's actually dead people in there instead of a plastic man on a cross. That sounded mean.
But that's okay. Jesus is cool. He's cool.
Well, because he's the man on the cross. Not that Jesus wasn't real. I don't know, but
the actual cross, BFF, he's real.
The actual cross itself in the church isn't real. It's made out of. It's not a real man on there. That would be rather scary.
It's a representative.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Was I just going to ask you about that? Oh, I forgot. I lost my question, girl. Okay, it'll come back to me. It always does. Sorry.
So then let's move on from the Egyptians.
Okay.
Oh, dear. Let's see. We were there when Christianity first began. But this is part where I don't know if Jesus existed or not. Because the Sarsahr, we don't talk about it.
You know what? Be free with it, because this is a safe place. The Stardust is a safe place for this kind of stuff. And And I think we just all accept each other's beliefs.
Okay.
So if you guys are unsure, then be unsure. That's okay. Don't feel like you're being disrespectful or
Well,
weird.
I'm just unsure. I don't know about how my other people feel about it.
Okay.
Everyone has their own beliefs, but we were there even before he was supposedly have been born. We were there, and but we didn't make direct contact with any of them. But they had seen our ships in the sky a few times, and in one of our history books, it's this one always makes me laugh because there was when the humans of that time saw our spacecraft fly by. The man who was piloting it got in trouble because um, he didn't try to hide himself so well. And what
Uh-huh.
ended up happening was these humans were all staring up at the sky, pointing it, and then they started to get on their knees and put their heads down. And
You just changed the whole history of humanity with
exactly, that's
one
why it's so
sighting.
dangerous to make contact with natives, because we don't know where they're at in their evolvement, and we don't want to cause,
The gods are here.
yes, and and when I read your Bible, they say they saw a flying chariot in the sky, and I thought, oh no, that's probably us. That was probably us.
That's so funny. Oh, stirring the pot. That's so
And a
funny.
lot of the angels that people said to have come in contact with weren't angels; they were extraterrestrials.
And were they Sarsahr?
Some could be. I don't know. Which for sure.
Right.
If I forget their names. I know there's one named Abraham. I don't know if he saw one, but I don't know if that was Sarsahr, if he saw one, and who saw whom.
Okay. And I'm asking because, well, I asked Avery this, and I just feel like he's the kind of guy that's just going to say yes anyway, because that's who he is. But, in those stories, and I'm not especially familiar with the Bible, but the angels were supposedly beautiful. So
Thank you.
can you answer this? Well, I was going to ask you if you can answer if you know through our eyes if you are beautiful. Do you know? Do you know, what beauty is to us?
Yes, I understand what beauty is to
I mean,
human standards.
yeah.
You tend to like white things, white-skinned things, and it's not because you think white's a pure race. Well, I'm sure some of you do, but
I know.
but it's more about the white is considered for purity,
Right, and
and
light.
I don't mean that in a racist way. It's just how you think of the color purple is associated with wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's not meant out of disrespect. It's just what we've done.
Yes.
It just is.
Mm-hmm. And it's different from culture to culture. What's so interesting about humans the most is how different you all are from each other when it comes to your different countries.
Yes, because, speaking of white, in America, we wear white wedding dresses. In China, they wear red. It's just completely different.
It's in different languages, in different customs, different religions, and I love that the most. And why it's so ironic, most humans are not ready for contact. To us, it's just doesn't make sense because you come into contact with different humans who look completely different.
Yeah, we can already have an appreciation for different cultures. Why are we so unready for your culture? Huh.
So back
we ought to know better.
To the biblical times. A lot of, if you read the Bible, I haven't read it fully. It's so long and boring. You can begin to find the similarities between what's an extraterrestrial and then, what was mistaken as an angel or mistaken as a fiery chariot or a horse in the sky. Because at the time, humans can only grasp what they could comprehend. So to them, the flying horse, it looked like a flying horse, but it was really a group of extraterrestrials flying in the sky.
Yes, their filter. They had to pull from their filing cabinet. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Let's see, what's another? Oh, that's a good one. So there was a brief period of time where humans were mostly in Europe, and we didn't cross over to that area at all, because that's where a lot of you were congregated at. So we would just avoid it. But because of that, there was still what you call the Native Americans today.
Yes.
Um, we made contact with them. And so a lot of and this was further along in our evolvement as a
Okay.
species. So we let go of the idea of multiple gods, and we're more about how we're all one, and to be appreciative of your planet because ours was dying. That was around the time we learned that our planet was going to die,
Okay.
because of our sun. And it really changed our perspective on things and made us more appreciative of not just our planet, but other planets and the universe as a whole.
Right.
And it's both a good and bad thing when we learned that, because it let us finally let go of the idea of gods. But when we came across the Native Americans, and not just Native Americans, but some of them are, from up in Canada area or down in
Right.
Mexico area, but just that part of the world, that continent.
Right.
We taught them about becoming one with Earth and loving their planet, and in return loving themselves and knowing that everything's energy. And we taught them not really our technology, but our way of life and our perspective. And they took that and they added their own spin to it, but it's still the same basic understanding. So while you had more advanced people across the ocean technologically, you had more
Right.
advanced beings spiritually
Right.
on one
I've
side.
always loved the Native American cultures and just the way they, felt at one with the earth. And like when the Americans came or the Europeans came and said, here, we're going to give you some trinkets in exchange for the land. They didn't get it because you couldn't own land according to them. They just had such a different kind of, respect and understanding for it.
Yes.
Poor guys.
I
Got messed
know,
up
I
by it.
know. Witnessing that was just heart-wrenching. I was alive
Ah,
during that time.
I'd
It
like to
was
hear some of that, of the history from what you witnessed too.
Well, I was alive when James Madison was president, so make that what you will. I'm very old. But for my
Young at
people,
heart, girlfriend.
I'm about 200 some odd years in human years. Ugh, I feel ancient, but I'm young to my
You
people.
are. You're young at heart. We love you.
And I made good friends with the Native Americans during my time. There was a couple of, there's, give me a moment. These women, there's a couple of them, this sister and her daughter, and they would come and they would bring us food. And a lot of it was food we couldn't even eat, but they taught us how to garden on that land in the desert. They taught us where to go and how to collect water in such a dry climate. And they would, every once in a while, they would come in and check on us and make sure we were doing okay and give us food if we needed it and clothing if we needed. They would make us shoes. They would, one time, one of them went hunting for us and got us deer because they saw we ate nothing but vegetables. They didn't understand that that's all we ate. And they thought we were hungry because we were so
You're so
thin.
skinny. They wanted to fatten you up.
Yes, it was so endearing. So we pretended to eat the meat for them. We didn't be rude. But they taught us how to make use of the animal, every part of it. And to them, it's a respectful thing to hunt an animal because that animal was there in that time and place exactly to be killed and used to help further the chain of life and spur it
Isn't
on.
that beautiful? That's so beautiful.
So they honor that deer and treat it almost like a god. And to us, that was very interesting. And we asked them if, we figured that's just their way of not, feeling guilty for eating the meat. And they disagreed with us and said, no, it's about the sanctity of life. If you truly care about the balance of the planet, you will care for the balance of what the animals need as well. Humans need to eat meat just as much as animals need to eat the grass. And the grass needs the bugs, and the bugs need the dirt, and so on and so forth.
Right.
You can't have one without the other. And anyway, I would teach them about my people. It was an excellent exchange, and I became really good friends with them, even though we never saw each other every day. Seeing them every once in a while was good. But
How were they?
I couldn't save them because I couldn't interfere with what was happening with the other humans. So when the settlers came and they killed them, my friends. The men killed my friends. And so I've never cried tears before.
I do it all the time.
They killed my friends. And I saw them die. I felt like I had to watch it to pay respects to them so they would live in my memory and I could tell their story one day. It was terrible. I never knew just the extent humans could be so cruel. It was, I can't even stomach to even, I watched the whole thing. The whole thing. I made sure that I watched even though it hurt. Because I couldn't help them. I wasn't allowed to help them.
God, how frustrating for you. You had the power and you just couldn't do it. Oh, my heart hurts for you.
Some people watching this may not understand, but it's because, and I hate to pull this card on you, but you're not at our evolvement yet to really understand the detrimental damage you can do to a species by interfering directly with their own growth. Interfering with that attack could have really caused a lot of damage because it wouldn't have produced that learning experience humanity needed. Right. And that deep appreciation. Imagine how different your world would have been. And we just can't. It goes against our ethics. And we're already part of another alliance with other extraterrestrials that forbade us to interfere directly. So that's why we don't interfere with your politics and things like that. Now I just don't get involved in that kind of thing. I don't even stay up to date with what's going on in your life. It's just too painful to watch. I stopped paying attention around the 60s, the 1960s.
So you're around for the 60s. Just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I don't pay attention to my own stuff. I really don't. It hurts. Huh.
Yes.
When I do my Facebook stuff, I'm the girl that shares cute animals. I don't do any politics or any murder. It's all about
people share murder
and guinea pigs.
And guinea pigs. Oh, I love that name.
Well, yeah, they probably do share about murder stuff. Ugh. Newsworthy stories.
Just couldn't agree because I couldn't change it. I wasn't allowed to, and it made me frustrated because I have so much compassion for humans. But I'm happy, and I feel like I'm helping now because I'm doing this video and being part of Stardust, and I feel that's a part of my helping humans. I can't come in and bust down the door and demand justice, but I can slowly help in my own way.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. We get to have our little helps, and it does feel good. And you got to share the story of your friends, and you wanted to. Oh, that's nice.
It was really hard for me to make friends with humans after that because the settlers took over, and I just hated them. I hated them for what they did, and I hated all of them. And so you could say I was racist. I hated white humans for a little bit.
Right.
But it wasn't that I hated them all. I guess more prejudice. I just assumed they were all the same, and they were going to hurt my friends. And seeing more of what would happen to them being forced out of their homes and
That was really shitty. What the fuck? That whole thing pisses me off. Will you tell me how you healed from that and how you came to,
I met
find a soft spot for people?
a mother and her
Tell me.
son. They were, I would just watch them when the mom would. I didn't think the settlers had families because there was nothing but men that came at
Mm-hmm.
first. So I thought they were just these madmen that were around killing people for no reason. But then as things started to settle down and they started to come more in droves, I realized they had families.
Families.
And I would often think, do you know what your husband did?
I know, huh? Ooh.
But I saw this mother. She would have this beautiful pink dress, and I loved it when she wore it. And I would often pretend I had a pink dress. I loved their dresses. And she had this son, and one day he got, I think he got sick from something. I think he got attacked by something, and he got sick as a result. And I just couldn't bear that I just couldn't. I wasn't a mother yet, but I just could not bear that.
Yeah.
And
did you interfere? Did you give him medicine?
no.
You were going to break some rules.
But I did go to see him every night, and I would, help him and run my fingers through his hair, sing to him. And I helped to lift his spirits, even though he was asleep and he didn't know I was there. And I felt like I had this special bond with them. To them, they had no idea I existed. I don't think about that. I don't think about how from their perspective, they have no idea I exist. But they became my friends, and I kind of adopted him as my own son in a way, and I watched him get older.
Aww.
And when he would go through a hard time, I would feel sad with him. Not that I could go there and talk to him and give him advice, but it just was comforting. I knew on some level he knew I was there, and was comforted by just having someone who could sympathize with him.
You are so sweet. You're so sweet. What did your peers think about your interest in this family?
I thought I was so strange.
Welcome to the club.
And I was so excited when Sam, I'm older than Sam, but I saw a lot of myself in him. When he was growing up, he was so interested with humans, and we do the same thing and watch them. And I wanted to talk to him so bad, but there's this rule that you can't really go talk to someone of the opposite gender unless you're courting with them and stuff. It's kind of we're very old-fashioned like that, and
you're a little old-fashioned about that.
And he's very young, so it was kind of bad. But now we don't care. He and I break those social customs all the time. We always talk to each other.
Good.
Yes. That, and it makes it easier because he's married now, and the wife doesn't mind. So
no, she loves you.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to be your best friend.
She is.
I love that. All right, so you got any other stories for us?
Let's see. Oh, she had one of those burps.
Oh, that's right. You had one out in the desert. It was great. One of the best moments of the weekend.
Ooh, I keep going off topic, but I loved that event. I'm going to go to the next one.
That's right, you are. It's at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Let's see. What other kind of... So I don't know. What are things humans are interested in knowing about when it comes to...
Well, I think that... Well, right now, I couldn't tell you about historically. I don't know, but I really am enjoying your personal stories interacting. Do you have another one?
Egyptians, I wanted to go back to that. They did have slaves, and they did have slaves help with building the pyramids. I just wanted to make that clear, too, but they also had the technology.
Okay. What do you think of the human theories of how we built the pyramids? Rolling these huge stones on logs.
No, that's way too much work.
Possible. But I don't know. What do I know?
And it wasn't like they came to us and said, well, the Egyptians were in contact with numerous different types of species. And some of them are not even here on the planet anymore. They don't even come here anymore at all.
Let's talk about the interaction. I know you weren't here, but was it just like, you go to the restaurant, hang out with your Sarsahr friends?
We lived not together. The people, to a certain extent, knew of our existence. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a total secret like it is with you now.
Okay.
But at the same time, they just didn't care. They didn't care to get to know us, or they thought of us as no different than like another culture that lived on in another country. They're not going to be like, oh, that's so cool. We should get to know them and be friends with them and open disclosure. They're just more like,
I know you're all popular now. Back then,
yes.
Just another culture.
It was more of, we made contact with more of the gods, their leaders. Mm-hmm. And
okay.
The more important people. They didn't talk to us because they were told they weren't good enough, because we were considered to some degree gods or descendants of gods.
Right.
So they weren't allowed to really talk to us. But there were these giants. Absolutely giant. And they don't look human at all. They were absolutely huge. And we hear about them, and they're just as elusive to us as they are to you. But they were absolutely ginormous. They were like 25, 40 feet tall.
I have to tell you something about them.
Yes.
I have another show called The Shiny Show.
Yes, I know that one.
And we channeled one.
Do you?
I watched your show. Well, we channeled a giant. And you know what his name was? Sarsahr. We switched the H, but his name was Sarsahr. Isn't that funny?
Sam saying that's where he got the name for Sarsahr from, was him, that show. He liked the sound of it, and that was when him and his wife were trying to come up with a name to call us other than tall whites.
Right.
He got to choose our name. How lovely.
All right, so what else do we got? Let's see. What else about Egypt? You keep going back there. You got more?
That's the one I mostly studied. That's the one that's the most popular.
Well, what is this? What does it mean for you to study? Do you mean you studied it in college, or you just studied it because it was fun?
I studied it for fun. I just read for fun, and
okay,
that was it. I don't go to college. Me in college?
Do the Sarsahr have an educational system?
No, but I was just imagining myself in a human college, sitting with humans studying.
That's right. Get your backpack and
all my pencils.
I don't even know if you have books anymore. I think it's all virtual. I have no idea. That's how long it's been since I was there.
How long has it been?
I graduated in 2002, I think. It's been a long time.
Not for me. College. That's actually not that long ago.
No, that was like last week for you, huh? Do you find it interesting, because it's just so different that you live so long. Is it weird to you that we live so short?
Yes.
Or are you just used to it?
I would assume it's much like how you think of your puppies. And
right.
You get so sad when they die because it's so soon.
I know.
But you know it's going to happen, and so it makes you appreciate your time with them so much more.
That's
Not
true.
that I think of you as puppies.
It's okay, guinea pig. I'm just kidding. By the way, they are really, really cute. People love guinea pigs.
I've always wanted to try to have a pet. I know
Did you really?
I know it's a human thing, and that's why I wanted to do it. Not that I really wanted the pet. I just want to know what it's like to be human.
You know what? I think you're part human. I've just decided you've got some human juju going through.
you.
What do you do when you go to homes? Do you try to play with their pets or like no way?
No, I don't want to touch them. I want them away from me. Which I know goes against what I just said.
I know. What's wrong with you? Well, when you're here and you're trance channeling through H, I'm gonna introduce you to Mama Cat. She's real sweet.
I prefer cats are okay, but they're such sharp claws and they're so unpredictable. You don't know what they're gonna do.
It's the only one I got though. I just got the one cat. She's a good kitty. She'll be nice to you. She'll run away from you.
I have a human body, so it'll be more durable to handle it.
That's true. She can chomp on you and you just like. I wonder what it feels like to, how does pain feel on your bodies?
I don't know. How does pain feel on your body?
Painful. Answered my own question. All right, well, this is your show. I keep stealing it from you.
I don't have anything else to add.
All right.
I've already discussed everything I wanted to. I just wanted to emphasize how far humanity has gone, because I know how harsh you are on yourselves. But you have gone pretty far. And quickly. You evolved so much quicker than I ever thought a species could.
Really? Interesting. Huh. And you know what you were saying? I think this all the time. I have like two things I think in my head. I go, God, humans suck. And then I also think, God, humans rule. Because don't they? I mean, there's such a duality between us.
That's what I love about them the most.
We're so amazing sometimes. I'm so impressed. And, I get my heart chakra squeezed all the time by the kindness of people. So I'm glad that you see that shiny side of us. We're not all murderous ogres. Some of us.
I don't know what to say about that, about the murderous ogres.
There's a few of us out there.
But I would like to leave her body now.
All right, then. I'm going to send you packing. And thank you this was so fun. I want to switch. I want you to come in here so that H can talk to you. We're going to work on that, okay?
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to talk to you later. Thank you for today. And come spy on me when I'm over in Europe. I want you to check some stuff out and see what's going on with me, okay?
Oh, I almost spoke about...
Okay.
Oh, no. I think I can say it. Say it. Can I say
it?
Say it? Okay. Oh, no, I can't say it. Oh, but I should. Oh, but I shouldn't.
Do it!
Okay. Don't yell at me.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it might open up something that shouldn't be opened. Oh, I'm so shy. Well, I do love humans. Yeah. And I like human men, too. So... Not that I'm... but I...
I know where you're going with this, girl. That's okay. Stop right there. You're blushing.
But I do like human men. And but don't go thinking I'm going to come hit on you.
I'm just going to show you around the town.
Yes, Kari's going to show me around town.
That's right. Taking all the hot spots.
I can't believe I said that. Everyone's going to see it.
I love you. It's okay. It's a normal thing. Girls like boys. I like boys. I like them. Let's go look at some boys.
I know, but I shouldn't look at more than one at a time.
No, that's not true. You remember you got this human thing going with you too. So it's okay. You're just looking.
Window shopping.
There you go. We're going window shopping together.
And I have a daughter, so I also have to think about her too.
That's true.
Oh my
so
goodness.
You're so sweet. Don't you sweat it, girl. Come on, you're hanging out with me. I got it covered. All right. All right, Miss Gwenny. I'm gonna send you off, bring H back. And I loved this. I love you. And I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck.
She is so fucking cute. I love her. Oops, I just tweaked my camera. Sorry. I bogged my wire and twisted it. She's so cute.
All right, well,
I'm keeping her.
I want to keep talking to you for a little bit, but I'm going to end the thingy now so that...
All right. All right, Stardusters, don't forget to buy your ticket for the next event.
Yeah, don't forget to do that because...
Gwenny's ready to she wants to come on down.
Yeah, and I also want to practice trans-channeling other people's, not their partners, but just like, other Sarsahr that people know about, say their husband or a friend.
Okay.
So I want to trans-channel more than just Sam and Gwen.
And the Spaceman.
And Spaceman and Avery. And it's going to be one. And I want to trans-channel other extraterrestrials as well on there, like different species, and get different perspectives because they all have their own way of doing things.
You got to channel blue ball, Elvira.
Elvira.
Isn't that funny? Elvira.
All right. We're going to go.
Okay. All right. We're signing off. I'm not hanging up. We're just clicking stop. I love you. Talk to you later.